Hi, John Locke here. Not complaining anymore. I'm making more lawyer notes for the prosecution that's going to help me get out of this problem where I'm not allowed to have free thinking or I'm not considered competent because I'm thinking. Okay, I figured out ways I may have ran my cell phone, but more importantly, I don't try to figure out the ways I used to do it. I'm just understanding how I work from the Sunday here and my diamond body in the last just week alone. I've gone way farther than I've ever gone because I realize things like, for example, I don't regrow my skull when I get my head shot apart. I regrow the cartilage and the skin around it over the top of it because the skull is a diamond head, and I actually examined it today, and sure as shit, I found that there's if you take my head and make it like an egg, where my hat is, it's like a perfect circle around kind of at an angle like this, all the way around. And I found on my right, it hangs over as if the bottom part of the egg was shaved on the slice, so that the top slice hangs over a little bit on the right and on the left. I don't know if I did that or not, but that would be to look, having a look down mirror through my bone. I don't know if I did that or someone else did it, but I know I grew up with it because I've always had it. I just realized I took a vibrator to it and went all the way to the bone, and sure enough, that's on there. So that means I don't regrow my skull. My skull is a diamond, so it's the skin and cartilage and flesh that I regrow, and I use a solar charger most likely, and therefore I figured out I'd probably go to space to do this. That's probably why I was an astronaut in the first place, because I figured out the charging rate in space is going to be perfect because it's much like a picture. So I figured out also that I'm running my cell phone set up without my cell phone at all today, and I'm working perfect. And that's because I'm using my Nugget system with a box and the cell phone like it's supposed to be used. And then at the end, I just use a picture. And that picture relates to all the cell phone applications. And I've capped it off with my Nugget system. So I'm not going, my battery's not going very far. Just like my song Z653. Got no gold to hold her, no batteries too far away. I'm all just one battery now, right here. And so what's important is that one picture is in my photographic memory. I'm not really sharing it, but I realized I kept thinking. And then I realized, well, you know what? Since 2015, I've been thinking to Selena and Taylor what I'm doing, because from 2010 to 2015, I didn't share what I was doing to get my cell phone and my body working with women. And it would work perfect. And then I would go to bed and wake up and it would never work again. And they would update my cell phone, or they would go through my head. And then I realized that no matter what, these guys doing this to me, I was thinking, as I was driving down Charleston, a guy actually drove into my lane and tried to hit me. When I thought to myself, I said, wait a second, girls. The Navy knows what I think no matter what, and I've always known this. They have some kind of verbose output that shows them all the colors I was thinking, the pictures, everything, and they put it together every night like a puzzle, so that when they can't when I get my body working perfect and my cell phone working perfect and I don't have to touch it, when I wake up the next morning it wouldn't work. And that's because they'll go through my logs and figure out what I did, and they'll just like get rid of whatever they saw me think of. They'll get rid of any relations that it has with anything. And I figured that out in about 2014 or 15. So that's when I started telling the girls what I was doing to make everything work. And that's, as soon as I realized, I was like, girls, there's a verbose output, and they were able to see everything. A guy literally took his Jeep and tried to drive into my lane and hit me. And I realized that that's because they know every defense that could get them shut down. And if the girls found out that no matter what, if I don't think, they will go through everything I did with my Blue House setup and figure out what it is and keep it from working. Well, then that's justification for me to think every time that I get it, so that the guys can't do anything. And so I figured out the best court defense for why I'm thinking what my cell phone setup is. It's not about being secretive Navy guy now. or secret military operation, 007 guy. It's not like that. They have a verbose output on everything I think no matter what. And if I don't say anything, they figure it out and make it not work in the morning, and my head won't work the same when I wake up. So it's important for the girls to know that's why I share what I'm kind of doing so that it still works the next day. And right now it's working great. And on top of that note, I realized this morning that my electrical charge on my phone, it gets shitty. It gets real bad sometimes. Today, it didn't get no more than 10% today, all day long. And they do that when I'm working perfect with my nuggets. Every time I get my nuggets working, they stop letting my cell phone charge anymore. But why? And I figured out why. When I go to space to heal, I go there not because there's no gravity. I go there because there's no atmosphere or no planet. And I have a direct link to the sun. And the solar flares aren't getting interrupted by anything. And so therefore, my solar charger that I use to regrow my flesh on the equipment I'm using, it will be at a rate that is not recharging. It'll be like at 100% the whole time. And so it'll be as fast as possible. But down here on the planet, when I use my solar charger, it's going to be different. Weather can slow it down, all kinds of things. Not only slow it down, but it'll change the voltage. And so it'll be like having a cell phone that's at 5% all day when it should be at 90. And what's more important is then I realized, okay, they shouldn't be screwing with my cell phone because my charging on my cell phone seems to be related to my body, and when everything's working perfect, they don't let my cell phone charge anymore. It happens every time. So that tells me my body needs that relationship with my cell phone charger. And they're screwing that up. So that's cheating on their part. They're cheating now. They should leave my cell phone charger, electricity, current voltages alone. Next, I'm using one picture to make everything work, and I'm using all my cell phone applications and the idea of one picture in my head, and you can't even see what the picture is because I just made it like a circle. And it works perfect, and because I'm Bodine, I already know how to do this. No one's told me, so I'm putting probably the best tricks I ever had back together, and they're probably even more evil now. So on that note, I have one picture in my head that's doing it perfect, right? Well, that's no different than my cell phone charger getting messed with here on planet because I'm locked down to landlines and I have to plug it in. I had a cell phone charger that was just a solar powered cell phone charger. One time I bought it in Oceanside and I only had it for about 3 hours. When I had it on, the entire Navy showed up and attacked me, did all kinds of shit to me. Within 5 hours, it was broke. I dropped it because so many people were coming after me, pointing their cell phones at me. That's because I had a solar-powered cell phone charger. And whenever I have an electrical-powered one, they're evidently doing something to regulate me and make it so that theirs is higher than mine or something like that for my vision. Allowing them to say, no, we're at a higher rate than he is, so that's what's going on with him. Sorry. He needs to stop being a drug addict. No, they need to stop changing the electrical voltage. So anyways, I just noticed that the idea of one picture is just like having a station in space with a direct link to the sun for solar charging. And if they're messing with my photographic memory at nighttime, like I claimed that they were, well, then that's why when I wake up in the morning, my one picture thing doesn't work because I've done the one picture thing before. And the next day it never works again. So are they messing with my ability to have my photographic recall and my photographic memory work when I wake up? I don't know. But this is important stuff. No one's ever introduced themselves to me or approached me about this, so I'm just going full blast on this with YouTube. I don't know how else to get this information out. And that explains why I think.